What's up, everyone? I'm Cynthia for the Best Women's Boxing Show, period. I have a special guest, Jordan the Patriot Panthen. Welcome to our show. I'm so sorry that you didn't get to meet my co-host, Chandra LaBeouf. She's really bummed she couldn't be here, but I said, I got it. I got it for us. But Jordan, welcome to our show.
Thank you for having me, Cynthia. It's a pleasure to be here. Good to be speaking with you.
Likewise. I mean, the name Patriot, I look around, your shirt, the flag, everything about it. I know that your father was in the Navy and you really just want to win a world title on the 4th of July. Why that particular day and maybe not like Memorial Day or something along those lines?
I wouldn't be opposed to Five Memorial Day either. I was just talking about that yesterday with somebody, so I wouldn't be opposed to that either. I mean, I would say either or. I think both are great holidays and great weekends, and great fight dates. It's just America needs a staple. It needs me a fighter to bring this passion out here to have that staple. It's just like just like the May fight day, September with Mexican Independence Day, all of that. Like there's certain fight Puerto Rican Day Parade. Like there's certain things. America needs something, and the bottom line is America is the hub of boxing. Even all the people who are not from America, all the boxing stars from other countries, where they train mostly, most of them, where they train, where they fight, where they come to America. So we need somebody from this home country who represents this and is prideful about it and make our own date or whatnot. And I think it's just going to add more fuel and more great stuff to boxing. So it needs someone to do it. Needs the right person who has the skills and whatnot. And that's me.
I love it. I agree with you. I never even think about that because you have Mexican Independence Day and Cinco de Mayo. They're huge. But then when
Yeah.
it comes to 4th of July, everyone's out barbecuing and no one wants to watch a fight. But hey, you could be the one to make that all turn around. Reading about you, I've seen interviews with you, and I didn't really know more about you. You cowboy, you took off some time after some amateur fights. Why did you take time off and why not? Why didn't you continue with your
I
career?
mean, I had other passions. Real quick, no one's done amateur boxing like I've done it. I'm straight up. I started
Why do you
boxing.
say that? Why do you say
But
that?
it's simple. I started boxing at 15 and a half years old, which is still considered late. I stopped at 18, it's 2.5 years. Only 20 amateur fights. I didn't win no national championships, didn't win no national gold gloves. I went there, I lost. That's it. Only 20 amateur fights from Hawaii, 2.5 years boxing. I took 6 years off. Why take 6 years off? I didn't want to box anymore. I wasn't like I was good enough. I moved to Virginia. I was with Coach Kay, pouring with Troy Isley and Shakur. I just didn't want
Not
to
a
box.
bad
I
camp
wanted.
to be in.
Yeah, no, I wasn't like I wasn't good enough. I just had other passions. I grew up on John Wayne. I didn't grow up on cartoons. I want to be a cowboy. I mean, I went out west. I did that for 2 years. I mean, I rodeoed. I worked on ranches. Anything to think of. I have many stories and whatnot of it. So I cowboyed for 2 years, training horses, doing cattle drives, rodeoing. I came back, maybe wanted to join the military, got into business. Life took its course, but I had other like passions, and then took 6 years off. 6 years. Now remember, 20 amateur. I didn't box since I was 8. I had like hundreds of amateur fights. I had 2.5 years, 20 amateur fights. Took 6 years off. Had an epiphany when they want to go back to boxing. I was overweight. I was like 200-something pounds. Went to a gym. I sparred some pro. I can't remember his name. Beat the living crap out of him. I was like, holy shit, still got it. Had epiphany. I quit my job right before COVID happened in January 2020. So it delayed me a little bit. I got back to Hawaii in June of 2020, back to our original coach, where it all started. That's what I had to do. I had to go back to where everything started. And I went on a mission to win national champions. I wanted to compete there and improve myself, win there. And that's exactly what I did. I didn't just win the national championships or the national gold. I steamrolled and stopped guys and steamrolled and dominated every single fight in the national championship, in the national gold, made Team USA, went to the Worlds, represented them. I mean, who had 20 amateur fights, took 6 years off, came back and just dominated the way I did. That's why I say no one's done amateur boxing like me. I mean, it's a story of one of a kind, if you ask me. And now I turned pro, had adversary, and now we're looking to be 9-0 with 8 knockouts. Still, now 6.5 years experience. So it's like I turned pro when I was 20. If you look at the actual experience of boxing, that's why I think nobody's really done it like me, and no one's at where I'm at, and I'm still improving. And that's what's crazy about this is like people see how good I am right now, and I'm not even close to my peak whatsoever.
Since you said you started at 15 and a half years old, what made you even start boxing? Did you fall in love? Did you watch a fight? Did you always want to be a boxer then? Or did you just do it to lose weight?
No, I mean, I was an aggressive kid. I did like to fight. I was into fighting, but I was from New York and I moved to Hawaii when I was 13 years old, and from a small town in upstate New York, and boxing not a thing. It's a regular sports, football. Like it wasn't like a thing your parents brought you to. It wasn't around town. So introduced to it. I got to Hawaii, I picked on a little bit, but Hawaii fighting is the thing. Boxing, MMA, fighting is the thing. So I got into it, and I was just an aggressive kid, and hitting someone in football, hitting someone in lacrosse, taking someone down in wrestling, nothing compares to punching someone in the face. I got into that, and then I fell in love with the discipline of it, training year round, like outside the gym. And it's the first sport I really took like the discipline to it. You go football season's over, you're just on to the next sport. I'm not really still training football when it's over. So the boxing, I'm running outside the gym and whatnot. And I was 15 years old, beating the crap out of 30-year-olds. I'm like, oh, I must be pretty good at this. I kind of fell in love with it right there. Yeah. I trained with Julian Chua.
Julian Chua, love him. I remember him when I trained over at Wildcard, and he was just a trainer there. Like, he didn't even have fighters. And now when I see him, I was like, oh my God, when he won his first world champion with Zurdo, that was like the takeoff of his career as a trainer. But you're in good hands. You're at a good gym. You've got people around you. You just said it, Janibek, and I know you've sparred him. I'm a huge fan of Janibek. I told Carlos Adames, I don't know who the boogeyman is, but both of you boogeymen go fight each other. Janibek is eventually, you're a middleweight. I don't know if you're going to stay at this weight class. I don't know if you're growing out of this. You're
not a middleweight. I'm fighting at 154. This next fight's at 56. Super
it says that it says in my notes you're middleweight.
It does say that because I took some fights at 662, but that wasn't because of me. That was because of other fighters didn't want to come lower and whatnot. And just how it is, get the fight, way to fight. But this fight's at 54, and then I'll be fighting at 54 from here on out. So, and I make this weight easy. Like right now, I'm like 160 this morning.
Okay.
So, I fight a couple days. I'm slim like that. I'm a true 154 pounder. I still make that light, but I don't want to kill my body and make it welterweight. I probably could, but it's just not worth it. So I make 54 nice and smooth, and it's good. 60, I'll probably be at a couple of years. There's no rush. I have no I don't see in the short future. The near future. I see them a couple years out. I want to campaign at 54, win world titles here first. So 60's not even in the playing cards for me. But
you never know. Let's just say you do get they come knocking on your door, say, hey, the Patriot, Janibek, there's, it's another person just fell out. We need someone. Can't say no. You always have to stay ready. And you already, it's just because the middleweight division, it's super welterweight is hot too, because you see all the champions, they all move up, but the glamour division is usually the middleweight. It's very rare to hear from former world champions or people that have been boxing to say really nice, good things about you. And for Paulie Malignaggi, Paulie is very hard to please. And, that's Paulie. But he said that you have that mean streak in you, and you have that passion, and a real throwback fighter. And even Zurdo Ramirez, you share trainers with, the talent that you have, and you're honed in, and you're always in the gym, and you take everything seriously. And that's what it takes to be a true champion. When you hear nice things about you from people that have been in boxing for a long time, who've been world champions, what do you think of that?
It just means I'm doing the right thing. That's what it tells me. And I'm not surprised. It's not a secret when you see me day in, day out doing what I do at the gym, the hard work, first one at the gym, last one to leave. I get there gym before other professionals, and then they leave before I leave. So you see it, and that's not just one day, it's day after day. You see my sparring sessions beating the crap out of people again and again and again, or just intense sparring sessions. You see the skills on display. You see one sparring session is a war, and you see the next sparring session, I'm outboxing someone. So when you see it, not just once and not just twice, but week after week, month over year go by, I'm not surprised. It's hard to not notice it if you're there every day with me and seeing it on a regular basis.
When your knockout record right now is 8-0 and 7 knockouts, and you just mentioned one sparring would be, you're straight, it's a war, but then the other one is boxing. And I know one of your fights with Cameron Crail, you went the distance of 8 rounds. Now, since you do have power, obviously, and I know you can go the distance, do you like to box and really use your ring IQ and your skills, or you're just looking for the knockout?
No, I'm gonna say it's early. Sometimes the knockout is not viable at round 2. Maybe it's better around 6. My goal is to stop someone. Now, if I need to box someone now and do that to get to that point, cool. But the goal always revolves around stopping someone. Cameron Crail is a tough selling gun. He's from Hawaii. I knew it hard to stop. I had 2 busted hands in that fight, not broken, but like just badly bruised. I mean, every time I hit him, it was just pain. Every just excruciating pain from round 2 on. My hands are fine now. He's tough. I hit him with everything. I hurt him like 2 or 3 times in that fight. I threw like over 600 punches. He's a tough son of a gun, and his record shows that he fought everybody. He's only been stopped like twice, I believe. Yeah, I'm happy I went this as a fight. I felt the full 8 rounds. I could have went more that night too. I felt in great shape, but I want to stop someone, you know. So the goal is always when I'm fighting like that, what's the math equation to stop this person? That's always like really the main goal. Obviously, we all know you can never stop everybody, but that won't stop you from really trying to fill that goal. You know,
Yeah.
I'm not going in there to go to the scorecards, but knowingly we're prepared to fully go distances that could happen, but that's never really the goal from the start.
This is a major compliment that your body shots and your ring IQ are very similar to Gennady Golovkin. That is huge. I'm a huge Gennady fan, but because he's one of the best guys that can cut off the ring. He's got one hell of a chin and he's got one hell of a punch. Be even remotely compared to any of his skills, that I'll take.
That's a huge comment. I love that. I watch a lot of Triple G. I take a lot of his cutting off the ring IQ, his footwork, cutting off the ring. I watch a lot of that. So a lot of that's from Triple G. Yeah.
Who else do you watch?
I like to watch certain people for specific things. And I'll go off a list here. So I like Triple G specifically for his footwork and how he cuts off the ring. Maybe a little bit of his power jab. I'd say those 2 main things. I like younger version Canelo, where he threw more punches and combinations with power and explosiveness and counter ability, but with power still behind. But there's more punches, not the current version. I'm talking about like maybe the version at my weight class, 54 or whatnot. I like Paulie Malignaggi, his jab and the feint. Paulie and Tyson Fury really with the jab and the feints mixing. I think both of them really had just great feints in their jab all the time, feinting all the time in the jab, especially Paulie. So I watched them specifically for that. Counters, I mean, I always loved watching Roy Jones Jr. I don't really try to emulate too much what he does because, you know, he's on a level where he had certain attributes that he could do things nobody else could. But, you know, I watched some of the stuff for the counter ability. I watched Mike Tyson for the head movement, his specific combo, body, then head with the uppercut. That's just name a few. I mean, I watched Mickey Ward on Toro Gatti for just, you know, what war. Pain, no pain, just war. So I look at a different fighter for not just one fight for everything, but for a specific thing. So
no, that's how you build your favorite fighter when you think of it. And then you try to embody that as you to become all of those people, bring out all of your skills. Coach Ronnie Shields, you're sparring of his guys. He's got some good skills. Like you gave some of his fighters a run for their money.
I remember that sparring day. Yeah, I mean, skills pay the bills. I have the skills. I have the heart. I have the power to speak. I mean, I kind of have the certain attributes. I guess I need more exposure and bigger fights, and that's coming. Just I'm gonna keep fighting. I'm gonna keep winning. So I'm doing the old school way. I'm just gonna keep fighting, keep winning. It's my 3rd fight this year. I'm planning on 6 this year. So I'm gonna plan on keep fighting, keep winning, and shove my name, Jordan Patriot, down people's throats. So.
I think that's great that you're already fighting the 3rd time. I mean, some fighters damn well barely they prefer just sometimes one, or they can't get any more fights. Activity matters. When they only fight once, maybe twice a year, ring rust is real. You mentioned earlier that you back in the day, you in Virginia, Coach K was your trainer, and Shakur is, you know, one of the very special men or special boxers even of this generation, and he just has to show maybe a Tank fight or a Devin Haney. What did you learn from Shakur in those early years?
Honestly, I was only with Coach K and them for about 4 months down in Virginia, and then, you know, it's just weird. That weird time, you know, 18 and graduate high school, didn't go to college, didn't want to go to college, do boxing, and, you know, I moved back to the East Coast, and I was like, I don't want to go be a cowboy. I want to go ride a horse. I want to do things like I want to do as a kid. So, and I, you know, I've been riding horses since I've been a kid, so like I want to go do rodeo. I just, you know, I don't know. I kind of guess that was my college in a way, life experience.
So when
and
you say rodeo, were you like a professional rodeo guy or
not professional? So I did do so I worked on a ranch. So I worked on a ranch that basically trained horses. I worked on a ranch who trained their own horses. So I trained horses with them, but then they rented horses. So when I say rented horses, anything you rent a horse for, they did. So hunting operations, cattle drives, week-long rides in the mountains with 200 people with 200 horses in a picket line, you know, daily trail rides, maintaining the ranch, welding, like anything you do on a daily ranch now, and also training horses. Now on the side, I did rodeo. So I didn't do professional, but I did local rodeos like that. I did saddle block riding. I did bull riding once. And then that was it. The only reason I did bull riding, here's the thing about bull riding. I did saddle block riding, which is on a bucking horse. It's an adrenaline rush. It's crazy. It's like nothing else like it. Bull riding, is it more of an adrenaline rush? Is it more fun? No, it's the same exact feeling, just a lot more painful and dangerous. And now one bull I got stepped on in the chest and the leg. I got pictures somewhere. I got a hoof print bruise on my
What?
thigh. I got a picture somewhere because that's
You
where they
have a
stepped me.
hoof print?
It's literally, it's funny because like it's a giant bruise, but it's like a shape of a giant hoof print on my leg. That was my one experience of boy. I was like, nah, I'm good. I'll stick with the horses. So
Oh my God. That is insane. I've always been fascinated by rodeos because I live in Vegas and they have the big rodeo convention here, and the clowns just what is it when they bring out the
oh
clowns?
yeah.
It's just to get the bulls or whatever to get them
I've
off
been
of.
there. Yeah, I've been there a lot. The NFR and the rodeo, like the Vegas. I usually go every year for the most part. The clowns are there for entertainment, one, but then when the bulls start happening, yeah, they get in the barrel and whatnot, and it's almost like another for protection. They had the bullfighters, but then they hop that clown in. Always almost entertainment. He comes to get me. That whole barrel is like padded and whatnot, and then they sink in, and it's just sometime a bull sees a giant clown in the barrel. I'm gonna go hit it, boom, and it's always fun to see the barrel. Yeah, that's
I mean, I have to say, this is the first. I've never interviewed a fighter that they've ridden horses. I mean, Canelo and Oscar Valdez, and they have, Oscar Valdez plays with alligators, his pet crocodile or whatever,
yeah.
and goes swimming. This is the first for me that you have a hoof bruise. I can see that. Me and my co-host, we always do. Would you rather? Okay.
All right.
So, would you rather take spam, masubi, or brisket?
I'll take brisket. Take
Did you
brisket.
ever eat did you eat a spam
Yes,
masubi?
yes.
Did you
And
enjoy the?
musubi and spam. I mean, I had musubis in high school when I first got there. We used to sell them for $1 at high school too. It was all right, but no, I was not a big musubi fan or spam. My dad was. And the thing about spam, it never goes bad. So you buy spam and 20 years later, it's expired, but it's still good. But no, I wasn't a big fan of that.
Well, just think about it. If the world ever ended or we end up in like a bunker, you have
Yeah,
corned beef and spam, you're set. Because you
yeah,
can't just
spam will be
be
there.
having a brisket.
Spam
All
won't be
right.
nuked. No.
What do you rather prefer, horses or cows?
Horses for sure. Cows smell more, and they leave giant cow circular pie poops everywhere. When horses, they leave poop, but it disintegrates and whatnot. It's just, and they're like little balls. Yeah, and they're just horses are cooler. They're better.
All right. Do you prefer the ocean or the mountains?
For mountains, I guess because I was born and raised in upstate New York. I love the mountains. I love hiking and whatnot. But I also love the beach. So it's close. But I would say I have to pick one. I would live in the mountains and then vacation at the beach. Yeah.
No, you can't. It's either one. There's no and or. So pick one. You have one. If you could only be stuck on one place, ocean or a mountain.
All right, wait, where's the mountain? Is it like up north in the freezing cold, or like am I
No,
in
it will
a?
be a mountain where it's beautiful, like Wyoming, like Jackson Hole, like something like that. That's
Mm,
luscious. It's beautiful.
yeah, it's beautiful Wyoming, but then it's freezing 6 months out of the year
Okay,
in
I don't know
Wyoming.
where a mountain is. I'm from Los Angeles, so I don't know.
I don't, maybe Southern Virginia is like the warmest again. We still have mountains. I don't know if we're comparing like Wyoming and Montana. That's beautiful, it is, but only people don't understand. It's beautiful for a couple months and then it's freezing. I see living in Hawaii. I don't do cold no more. Like
Yeah.
I used to be shirts and shorts
You're
as a
from New
kid.
York.
Yeah, 50 degrees as a kid. But now from Hawaii, they changed my blood. No, I don't do cold. I get cold here in California. No, I don't do cold no more. I'm picking the beach then. I can't live no more cold. I need a mild climate. If it's a winter, it's like a short, mild
Yeah.
winter. Like no.
Yeah.
Montana's beautiful, but like
There's
it's
snow
it's
probably. It's too
it's
cold.
free. It's too much. Yeah. Visit
All
there
right.
later in the summer.
Okay, now would you prefer a sunset over the ocean or a sunset over the beautiful mountains?
Sunset over the ocean. Yeah.
And then lastly, who would you rather fight, like Tyson Fury or Mike Tyson?
Mike Tyson.
I figured. Okay, so you are a fight fan through and through, correct? Do you still did you watch the fights the other night? Tank
Oh
Davis
yeah.
and
Oh yeah. I'm a fight fan. I study old fights, watch all the new stuff. Yeah.
okay. Now, what did you think of Tank Davis and Frank Martin? He did predict. I even asked him during the post-fight presser, but he did say in the scrum that he predicts eighth round, and he just kind of guessed.
Yeah.
He got that eighth round knockout. What did you see about Tank Davis? He was out of the ring for 18 months, and he pulled off
Yeah.
that beautiful performance.
I think he's great. And I think what he showed is pure confidence from the very first round. He got hit with a shot or two. He's just pressing right forward. He wasn't even worried. Not even worried, pressing right forward. Pure confidence. Frank Martin did good, but people don't realize all that movement looking good is a little bit more like panic movement. It wasn't like smooth moving around the ring. It's like, boom, oh, I gotta move, I gotta move, I gotta move. It felt a little bit like panic movement or over movement because he was worried about getting caught and then got stuck in that corner. Maybe he was tired, maybe he wasn't, but it was a bad decision. Gervonta showed pure confidence, no worry in the world, pressing forward in the first round, and not having his best round. But we all know from Gervonta, he lose a couple early rounds. He got hit with some shots, got a little shine, but he wasn't worried. He kept that same mentality going forward because he knew something we all don't. Apparently, he knew what was coming. He wasn't worried. He was confident. His timing ability and that that eraser in his left hand is something special. I would love to see him fight Vasily Lomachenko, or I'd love to see that fight. That fight's long overdue, but
Do you
yeah, no,
think
he's a
that
great
is? I
fighter.
mean, Loma, he's aged obviously a lot more.
Yeah.
I mean, literally wear and tear, been in war, literally been in
Yeah.
a war. So I know it's long overdue, but who wins that fight? Right now it's a
I
fantasy
probably
matchup.
Yeah, I'd be 60-40 with Gervonta. I would lean towards Gervonta. A couple of things. He has the skills and he has that power. Vasily, yeah, he has skills. He's probably I don't see him, Gervonta's still slick, has defensive ability. I don't see him landing enough punches. He's not a one punch person. He's not gonna land punches and bunches to stop him. He had a good performance against Devin Haney when he fought Devin Haney Vasily, and he landed a lot and he hurt Devin Haney sometimes. I don't even see him landing that much on Gervonta. So I still think it's an interesting fight. I still think you can't count out Vasily. Like he still has some sauce there. He still can do something. If that fight happened, he won. Oh my God, super shock. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, but I mean, I can see him. He's a great fighter. You know what I mean? Great fighters can pull off great performances and great upsets. So I could see him doing that. But I would lean towards Gervonta. Would I say knockout? I would give the benefit of the doubt and maybe decision. But I still think it's an interesting fight. I don't think Vasily's too old to not be competitive in that fight. If the money's right, I think that's still a fight fans would like to see. Yeah.
There's another fight that everyone wants to see, Gervonta versus Shakur, if that ever happens.
Yeah, I guess if that happens, I don't really see that happening in the near future. I don't know what version of Shakur shows up. I mean, people forget Gervonta is like, we think of power or whatnot. Dude, Gervonta is high level. He could be born if he wanted to. I mean, he could be born. He has all those skills. He's a great boxer. Got the skills. I mean, his skills are on the same level as Shakur, but he has the whole nother level with the power advantage. So, I mean, honestly, I'm gonna have to lean towards Gervonta. Like, I mean, the reason we think Shakur, can he not get hit for 12 rounds? Okay, but here's the thing: Gervonta's not like anybody ever fought. He's not no wild Mexican fighter or slow. He's accurate. He's precise. You go 12 rounds and he's not gonna clip Shakur with a left hand. He's not gonna find his mark. Possibly, I'm not saying that it could possibly happen. Shakur could win by decision, but I don't know. I give Gervonta a bit of the doubt, and I think he can find his mark and land it. And now the question is, when he does land it, what happens? Shakur take it well? Does it? And then that's the question we don't know until the fight happens. Yeah. Mm-hmm. If Shakur takes a shot or two, well, maybe he still wins. Maybe he still wins the fight. But if he hits him with it and something doesn't take it well, then we don't know. But I don't really see that fight happening in the near future for the fan aspect and also different promoters and whatnot. So,
I know. There's a couple of things. I really enjoy talking to you because you really do know your boxing. I mean, I'm not saying that boxers don't, but it's just the way you break it down. Now, one of the other fights, I know that Alexander Usyk has been in breakouts. I don't know if you met him or I
met him once. Yeah.
With the Usyk and Fury rematch, we saw what happened. It was very close. It could have been a draw, but the knockdown changed it. He put in for the rematch, Tyson Fury. When that fight eventually happens, in December, who wins that fight now? Is it the same?
I mean, well, the right fighter won. Usyk won that fight. But I mean, we all watched that fight, and don't lie, all by round 4 or 5, we thought Tyson Fury had it. He found his groove. He's landing those body shots. I mean, we thought Tyson Fury was in his rhythm. He had a bad first round or two, but he's in his groove now. Easy. He's got this fight. He's looking bad. It's going like this, nice and consistently for Usyk. And then all of a sudden, round 8, Tyson gets that cut on his eye. I mean, he doesn't have a good round 8. I would say he lost round 8. Then round 9, he gets dropped. And then the whole thing. Like, who saw that? Like, what a great, crazy fight. My thing is, I would lean towards Usyk in the rematch. Again, 60-40. I'm not saying it's a big lean, it's a small lean, only because the mental factor that now he's even have more confidence. Going into the fight, he's worried. But now I have the confidence. I just beat this man. I hurt him. I beat him. He's going to the rematch with that confidence. But you're telling me Tyson Fury can't find his groove again and maybe this time not get caught with that left hand he got caught with? It's still a possibility because he was in almost in domination form in those couple rounds, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Mm-hmm. Like in those 4 or 5 rounds, he was in almost like in it. He just had it. He knew the body shots were landing. So he had a good game plan, right game plan. Got caught with that punch. Maybe got tired. The output wasn't there in around 10, 11. He was hurt. But he could find that groove again and maybe keep it and have better defensive abilities then. But I would lean towards Usyk as the confident. Oh, I just hurt this guy. I hurt him. Almost knocked him out. I beat him. now my levels of confidence like this, so he knows what it takes. I think he's going into the fight even with more juice. And Tyson Fury coming off a loss, we don't even know what that he looks like. It's his first time, so I would lean towards Usyk. But another great fight. I can't wait for that fight. That's gonna be a great fight.
I
Yeah,
hope so too. I mean, it was like watching two fights that night. One, the first six were Fury, and then the last end, and it was so dramatic. I mean, just watching everyone, you see Frank Warren's face, you see Eddie Hearn's face, you see Anthony
yeah.
Josh, everyone. I'm like, well, this is like really upsetting a lot of people, but I don't care. I don't mind. And then the last fight, this is consider it can be a fantasy fight, but it possibly can happen if it is made Canelo versus Crawford. Do you want to see that fight? And if you do, who wins that fight and how?
Don't want to see it? Yeah, sure. I mean, I'll watch it. I mean,
Yeah,
I'm
we'll
gonna say
all watch it.
Canelo. Yeah, I'm gonna go say Canelo. I just think it's too much. I mean, Tim Crawford, he was at 140 not too long ago. He only had, I could be wrong, 3 fights or so at 47. Now he's fighting at 54, my weight class. But then he's gonna jump up another 2 to 68. I mean, I just think it's a little too much. I know Terry Roberts special, and he has, he's strong and like that. I just think it's gonna be different. I think it's gonna be too much. I almost like Canelo when he fought Dimitri Bivol a little bit, but even more. I'm gonna lean towards Canelo. I know the skill factor, but I think it's just too much. I mean, think about it. This guy was fighting at 47 not too long ago. He's gonna go fight 68, another 21 pounds. People don't understand like how much that is. Like Canelo's been there and done it. He also fought at 75, fought big guys. It's different with small gloves on. I mean, I also fight 68, spar 68 pounders, 75 pounders, and sometimes heavyweights in the gym. It'd be different if I'm fighting him in a real fight. So, I mean, I'm leaning towards Canelo. Would I want to see it? Yeah, I think so. I think it's entertaining. I think it's a good fight to make. I mean, I think I would like to see Benavidez more or maybe some other fights more, but I'm not
We all
against
do.
seeing it. I mean, here's the thing. I wish Crawford was fighting Charlo. Because here's the thing. Canelo just fought Charlo. And, he beat him. Okay, knocked him down once. Now the Crawford and Charlo is a great fight because they already had beef and whatnot. And he's coming at 54. If Crawford beat Charlo and beat him in better fashion, maybe even stopped him, okay, then we're talking. Hey, man, I just beat the guy you just beat, and I beat him even better than what you did. Why won't you fight me? You see what I mean? For the talk, I wish Crawford was fighting Charlo because
No,
that would make the
we wanted
yeah.
that. Even Canelo wanted the other Charlo, but the Charlo brothers have a lot of things that they need to
Yeah.
clear up, like they need to take care of at home. You know what? I had to ask this one since you do spar Janibek. You did watch Carlos Adames. Those two have to meet in the ring finally. They would unify all three of their belts. Janibek's power and his speed. You saw Carlos Adames. Eventually, who's going to win that fight? Because that fight has got to be made. We need
I know
an undisputed.
I know John Mack very well. I sparred him for about 3 different camps. I haven't sparred him this camp because I finished. He was in here for the last couple of weeks, but he kind of finished sparring. He was starting sparring, and I was finishing sparring. So I didn't spar him this camp. This is how things lined up. But I sparred him at 3 separate camps, so I know him well. He's a great person, great individual, great champion, and a true champion. Shows up, puts the work in, puts the time in. He doesn't shoot any corners, but it's clear and compact for me. And this is before the performance I saw the other day, but even more so, Janibek is the clear win. I'm sorry, he's on the and if Carlos Adames comes out Janibek like that last performance, John will eat him alive. So I think Janibek is something special. The way he fights southpaw, hard hitting, his timing and counter ability. The middleweight division, I think is his right for the taking. And I think he can compete at 68 too. He puts on a little more size. He has a frame for it. He's about 5'11". But he puts a little more size. He could fight there too. But especially the last performance, I don't think Carlos Adames will compete with Janibek. And he's too open. His defense is not tight enough. Janibek's too sharp and too sharp as punches and counter ability. He left himself open against Terrell Gashal when he's attacking. Janibek would counter him and sleep him. That's what I would say.
I said this when Usyk won the cruiserweight undisputed. When I saw that, I literally said Usyk will be the undisputed heavyweight champion. So I'm stating it right now. I'm a huge fan of Janibek. He's going to be the middleweight undisputed champion, and I've called it for so long. I mean, I just want him to fight. I need to see him in the ring. That's all. So does he.
Yeah. Yeah.
He wants to. All right. Well, Jordan, it was such a pleasure talking to you. I can't wait to see you in the ring. It will be June 20th at the Hangar in Costa Mesa. And if you guys can't make it, you guys can watch the fight on FITE TV, brought to you by Triller. Jordan, the Patriot Panthen, is looking to get that another knockout on his record. Best of luck to you. And I can't wait to see you in the ring. Are you going to, maybe for your ring walks, you should just come out on a horse or come out on a bull. I don't know if
that's a plan.
you.
That's a plan. One day, a bigger fight. I plan to come out with the horse. Yeah, for sure.
Actually, I did.
Come out with the horse. Come out with the horse, but I'm not being led like Ryan Garcia is being led. I'll ride my own horse, like a true man. But yeah.
I have to say, I remember working a fight during COVID. I just had a baby, and I'm like, they're like, can you call color commentary? I'm like, I'm kind of fat right now, and I just had a baby. And it was at a bull ring in Montebello. And I'm like, first of all, it stinks like, oh my God. And we're literally sitting in the bull ring. And I'm seeing the guy riding his horse. Literally, I was like, well, this is a first. Like, and he wasn't being held. And like the horse was going. I go, what if the horse doesn't stop? Like, it will go. But so I totally envision it. You know what? Prince Nassim came out on everything, a flying carpet,
Yeah.
whatnot.
Come on, everything. Yeah.
You can literally come out. I'm telling you, just bring out whatever horse, cow, bull. I would not be surprised. All right, Jordan. Do you have a message to all your fans and everyone tuning in on FITE TV on June 20th?
I mean, it's a sold out crowd in Costa Mesa. Energy there is going to be amazing. It's going to be loud. It's going to be exciting. Jordan Patriot fans coming. I'm throwing lots of punches. They're fast. They're hard. A lot of them coming. And it's going to be fireworks. I mean, all my performances have been astonishing, dominance, and just exciting. So expect nothing less but exciting.
Where can they follow you on all your socials?
Follow me at Jordan Panthen, just on Instagram, or Jordan Panthen on Facebook. I'm on, that's the only two I'm on. And it's on FITE TV Triller, June 20th, this Thursday at 7 p.m. Pacific time.
All right, Jordan, best of luck to you. And I can't wait to see you in the ring.
Thank you, Cynthia. Great talking to you.
All right, guys, thank you for tuning in to another edition of the Best Women's Boxing Show, period. I'm Cynthia Conte. See you guys at FITE. Bye, guys.